Today on Here for the Right Reasons, Gabby hints at trouble in paradise with Erich 1 week after she opened up to us about how he's been supportive of her on Dancing with the Stars.
And Erich has been so supportive. He kind of understands, this is a performance and we have a goal.
Tyler Norris reveals where he stands with Rachel after their split and if he has any Bachelorette regret.
I hoped for the best, but the entire time I knew how this ends and I know how it works, and ultimately if it's not me, I just wanted her to be happy and find her person.
Plus, Dale Moss reacts to Clare's engagement, Madison Pruitt gets married, and there are 2 big Bachelor Nation engagements. Plus, of course, we break down this week's episodes of Bachelor in Paradise. We got that plus so much more on today's Here for the Right Reasons. Hey guys, Christina Garibaldi here with Us Weekly Deputy Editor Sarah Heron. Sarah, so glad to have you back.
Christina, I'm glad to be back. I feel like everyone got engaged and this season of BIP kind of blew up, which we'll get into, but a lot to break down.
Yes, but first, let's see what you guys had to say about last week's show. Maybe Me says way too much producer manipulation, while Dob8701 says Sierra is getting ridiculous. You got dumped. Welcome to BIP. That's kind of what happens on the show. I enjoy Logan too. You should explore things. It's a 3-week process. How many will realistically work out in the real world? Agree with it all.
Retweet on all of the comments.
Yes, all of the comments, agree with them all. All right, let's get into this week's news because there appears to be some trouble in paradise for Gabby and Eric. So she's been ditching her engagement ring for the past couple of weeks on Dancing with the Stars. And when asked by Fox News if they're still together, she said, life is just really busy for the both of us right now. So I understand their concern, but we're just kind of, going forward with each of our individual interests and supporting each other from afar. Now, he wasn't in the audience on Monday's show, but we recently spoke to her a couple of weeks ago, and she said that Erich has been supporting her while she's doing Dancing with the Stars. So take a look. Gabby, what was it like having Jenna give you tips on how to get sexy with Val, and how does Erich feel about all this as well?
Left out.
No, Erich's really supportive. No, I think, it's a learning curve for all of us. We've never been in this arena before, but it was great having Jenna to come into the rehearsal space and kind of, teach me and get to learn from her. And Erich has been so supportive. He kind of understands, this is a performance and we have a goal.
So what do you make of this? Do you think that they are broken up? Do you think they got into a fight? Do you think they're taking some time apart?
I mean, I think the fact that the question was, are you still together? And the answer wasn't yes, and just moving on says what we need to know. If the question was, where's Erich? And she kind of gave this cryptic thing, I would think they're on a break or taking space or just in a fight. But the question was, are you still together? And she didn't just say yes and smile. And Gabby doesn't fake it. We know that. She's really honest, which is something we like about her. So I think that they're definitely on the rocks. He did, post on Instagram, vote for Gabby. I don't think they're in a bad place, but I think maybe they're realizing this isn't as easy as it looks. And I always go back to Sean Lowe saying that going on Dancing with the Stars is the worst thing you can do for your relationship after The Bachelor.
So true. I totally agree with you. And I'm surprised that she wasn't more prepared for this question because I feel like, she hasn't been wearing the ring. He hasn't been in the audience. So people are speculating. But like you said, she always keeps it real, and that's kind of what she's doing. Maybe they're just still trying to figure things out.
Yeah, I don't think it's done for good. I don't know if we'll get the Instagram statement quite this week, but I don't think it's looking good for Gabby and Erich.
No, definitely not.
Well, someone else who called it quits a while ago and is now moving on, Dale Moss, reacted to Clare Crawley's engagement, saying, we all deserve to find love, and that's one of the best things in the world.
Yeah, so what do you think about Dale reacting to Clare?
I mean, he was asked the question. I watched the video. You could tell he was uncomfortable, and it's almost like he was holding back. He wanted to say something shady so bad, but he took the high road, and I think that that's what you have to do in this situation.
100%. Couldn't agree with you more.
Well, someone else who got engaged again, Thomas Jacobs, proposed to fiancée Becca Kufrin nearly 5 months after she popped the question, and their Bachelor Nation pals are beyond excited. The happy couple shared photos from Thomas's proposal via Instagram on October 28th. He had carved the words "marry me" into a pumpkin before getting down on one knee. The twosome first got engaged in May when she proposed with a golden ring, quote, and the ultimate plot twist, he said yes. What did you think of this one?
I thought it was beautiful. I mean, it seems like they are super in love. I don't know if she saw it coming, but it was a beautiful ring, and he seems like he really, really loves her. And I'm so glad that they are having their happy ending that they so both deserve.
I totally agree. And I think that I watched his reels where he was like bringing the ring around and when he was going to propose. And I thought that was so cute. They seem to be the real deal. And speaking of real deals and other engagement news, Dean and Caitlyn confirmed their engagement when he posted with the caption, quote, under promise, over deliver. He got down on one knee earlier in Hawaii while the pair relaxed on an empty beach. Can we believe that Dean and Caitlyn are engaged?
Finally. And I love how he made her work for it. She said like this was the hardest hike she's ever had to do in her life.
22 miles, Christina.
22 miles. But I mean, if I could have photos like that of my engagement, like I would walk forever. Like those were beautiful. Like, and so happy for them. I hope they find the engagement ring that he was supposed to propose with. But, but yeah, it seems like they're very much in love. They're going to be taking his mom's maiden name, which I think is really sweet as well. So good for them. It's been a long time coming.
They did it their way. Who are we to judge? We've judged enough. So we can just say congratulations, Dean and Caitlyn. Maddie Pruitt and Grant Trout celebrated their nuptials in style with many of her Bachelor Nation pals. A few names that surprised me here. Raven and Adam were there. Natasha Parker, Victoria Fuller, Kelly Flanagan, Jasmine, Hannah Ann Sluice, all documented. I know Ben Higgins was also there with his wife. All the girls from Peter's season, basically. She married billionaire Kenny Trout's son. They were first linked earlier this year. And then he proposed in July, and this has been a quick whirlwind situation. Kelly attended by herself without Peter, but she has been opening up about her relationship with Peter, saying on Treating Secrets, it's tough. I love Miami. It's not feasible for Peter. They don't want to live in LA. They might live in New York. What did you think about Maddie's wedding? And then, you know, how Peter wasn't there with her, obviously.
Mrs. Trizzy Trout. It's finally happened.
Mrs. Trizzy Trout. Oh my God. She looked beautiful.
She looked gorgeous. I mean, this is what $1 billion wedding looks like. I mean, it looked unbelievable.
The shot of her walking down the aisle with like 1,000 people there, I was like, is this the real wedding?
The cake, right? The cake was like 10 stories high. It was beautiful. She had a gorgeous day. It looks like they're very much in love. They're enjoying their honeymoon now. And yeah, she decided to lock that one up quick.
Yes. And, you know, as we know with Maddie Pruitt, of course, the veil said worth the wait, which could mean a lot of things, but a lot of people think maybe it's about sex because she was very open about saving herself. And then she was on the dance floor yelling, I'm having sex tonight for the first time. So good for Maddie Pruitt.
Wonder what the family thinks of that one.
I know. Now that she's a billionaire, congrats. I wonder if they signed a prenup.
Something tells me yes.
And obviously Kelly was there without Peter. And I mentioned, I kind of skipped ahead and read some of her quotes from Jason's podcast. What did you think of what she said and them officially being back on?
Yes. And no, it seems like they're really working things out. They're trying to figure out their future, what works best, where they're going to live. I think that they're handling this in a very mature way. They haven't been like oversaturating us on social media with their posts. They seem to just be really trying to figure this out and working on the relationship this time around.
Yeah, they're starting to post a little bit more, which I think is interesting. And he obviously commented on her picture, where's Peter, kind of with the trolls when she was at the wedding alone. So at least they're like in on the joke a bit and they're clearly kind of planning their future, but it seems like she's not being totally like putting all her eggs in this basket, but hoping for the best. So I'll be really interested to see how this one ends. All right, so let's get into our Bachelor Nation talk. We have more of our interview with Tyler Norris, who says what his future with Rachel could be if things don't work out with Brittany. Let's see what Tyler said.
Just to look back a little bit with your time with Rachel, have you spoken to her since I guess the Men Tell All or the reunion episode?
I have. We talk here and there. She's actually a pretty good friend of mine now. And like the biggest thing was I met so many of her friends from her season on the beach. So right. I got close with them. And then in turn, obviously talking with Rachel, and then they talk about, meeting me and everything. So yeah, I had a really good relationship with her after the show, even though it didn't end the way I wanted it to. I think that I realized, I really enjoy having her as a friend.
Would you do anything different during your time on The Bachelorette?
No, I don't think I would. I think that I was just completely myself and, I hoped for the best, but, the entire time I knew how this ends and I know how it works. And ultimately, if it's not me, I just wanted her to be happy and find her person. So, yeah, I felt like I just did everything that I would do in normal life.
Do you know how she and Avon are doing right now?
That's a good question. You're going to have to ask her.
Fair enough. If you two were to find yourself single down the road, would you ever consider dating Rachel again?
See, I think that especially now, like being friends with her, I cherish that friendship. So I would say I think that we're pretty good as friends.
That's nice. I like that. Zach is going to be the next Bachelor. Have you kept in touch with him much?
I haven't been able to talk to Zach.
Yeah.
But yeah, after the season, I talked to him like a little bit here and there. Yeah, Zach's an awesome guy. Definitely, another friend of mine that I have. But yeah, I haven't really there's a few guys I've had a chance to like hang out with and everything. Zach, unfortunately, I haven't really had the chance to hang out with him. After the show. But yeah, we're good friends.
I think that Tyler said lovely things about Rachel. I'm rooting for him and Brittany low key, but I'm not totally sure what's going to happen there with him and Brittany. And I think that's a perfect segue into this week's episodes.
I don't know, Sarah. I just can't get into it this year. I just feel like there's so much producer manipulation, like with Justin coming back in. Like, no, you're not there for Eliza. They just want to come back to the beach.
It's so silly. And even starting off with like the dirty bedroom and like Wells kind of like stirring the pot. Like, one, who cares? We didn't even get resolution with that, by the way, after they introduced it. And two, like, it just feels like, are we trying to make this OG new women feud happen? It's like, why aren't we doing that with the guys? The guys get to keep playing in the water, and now the girls are like fighting and hate each other. It all feels icky.
It does. It feels really icky, really like I said, just contrived, and it just doesn't feel authentic to me this season. We're seeing Johnny and Victoria's relationship start to develop a little bit. He doesn't feel like he's good enough for her. She is falling in love. I mean, based on what we've seen on social media, which we'll get into later, it doesn't really seem like they lasted. But I don't know. That relationship doesn't really seem like it would work for me anyway.
No, I think like they're one of those couples like on the beach. They're having so much fun. They clearly have chemistry, but I think she has one foot out the door because she already is like, Alex would be better suited. It almost feels like she's wishing she met Alex first. And she has some chemistry with Johnny, which is fun to explore, but it's not like the real deal. And I kind of feel like that way with, what do you think of Genevieve and Aaron? Because I think that they have like, again, like good sexual chemistry, but they can't communicate at all. They don't understand what gaslighting is. And I just feel like that across both episodes, like I was just exhausted by them. And I feel like he just wants to stay on the show longer and she wants to have a boyfriend. And I don't know if she wants it to be Aaron.
Get off the beach. I need them to exit immediately. I cannot deal with another week of the two of them going back and forth. It's just driving me crazy. And like you said, he doesn't understand what gaslighting means. They're fighting for no reason. They don't really love each other. They're just here for more TV time. And I can't. Yeah, it's truly shocking. I'm over them and they clearly just can't communicate. We don't need any more of them. We're going to see the same thing over and over again. There's no way they leave this show dating. But the Rodney of it all, Eliza wanted him to say, she wanted him to fight for her, say, don't let me go. Was it fair for her to kind of go into that expectation? Because I feel like he handled it so well. I feel like he handled it really well, too. Like, he knows what this is supposed to be like. He encouraged her to go and explore other relationships, thinking that maybe she wouldn't do it. And she did. And she just wanted him to be like, I want you to stay. And I don't know. I thought he handled it really well. I feel so bad for Rodney. He seems like I feel so bad for him too. And I think their connection was really solid, but I think it's one of those things like what happens in front of you. Like they get to leave the beach for the whole day. Like Justin's cute. They clearly have a connection too. And I think it's hard to like, if you feel anything at all, you pick the one you were with the most recently. If you go on the date and it's miserable, then you know, it's not an issue or like you have strong feelings. But I feel like sometimes when it's like pretty equal so far, you like then go with, I was just with Justin. So I feel like that's why Eliza is now with Justin. And I feel like Rodney kind of screwed himself, but I think he handled it the best because a lot of times you can't win. Like, how was he supposed to know? Like, I thought he was like, of course I don't want you to go, but like, I want you to choose. Like, I think that's a fair answer. I think he got screwed. I do too, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. Let's get into our social spotlight of the week. So in case you missed it, I don't know if this counts as a spoiler because it's not really, but we don't know what happens with Victoria and Johnny or Alex, to be quite honest. But we do know that she was spotted in Rome with Greg Grippo, of all people, from Katie Thurston's season. And then she posted this kind of like sexy video in a black dress and wrote, go on and put that dress on that all the bad boys like, black heart emoji. And Greg commented and deleted within seconds, good girl. I can't with this. I can't. Ew. All I have to say is the reunion that's taping this Friday, you guys, spoiler alert, it has a lot to answer for from Victoria, from, Sierra is going to see Michael A. for the first time after her tweets. There's a lot to unpack, and I'm really, really looking forward to the reunion and what's going to happen after we get off this beach, because I think we're all ready to get off the beach.
Okay, I think that's all we have for today's Here for the Right Reasons. You guys can come back next week and we will be here to give you updates on all of these stories, and who else knows what's going to happen. Maybe someone else will be at the Trevi Fountain this weekend, and we will let you know. Bye.
Bye. For more news, content, and exclusive interviews, make sure to hit the sub, like, and bell button down below and visit usmagazine.com.